Hey divas and boos, this is Shay, your Love Diva, and welcome, welcome, welcome. So I am going to give you guys a couple of minutes to get on because I have not yet figured out how to use this live feature. This is all new to me. And so bear with me. I'm going to figure it out. But there were some people that were on the other channel and I deleted it because I didn't know how to make it go live. So here we are. So divas, when you arrive, give me a heart emoji and let me know that you are ready to go. And make sure that if you can, that you have your paper and your pen and that you take notes, okay? Because it's going to be a lot of information that I'm going to go through and I don't want you to miss a thing. So drop your heart emoji so we can get started. And in this video, we are going to be talking about the 3 characteristics of women who have and radiate wife energy. Because I don't know if you guys have noticed, but women who radiate wife energy, they move a certain way. They radiate a certain kind of energy. It doesn't matter what they look like. It doesn't matter if they're big or small. It doesn't matter if they're a single mother or not. It doesn't matter whatever is going on in their life. There are certain women that radiate wife energy and certain women that do not. And I've coached so many women from all around the world. It doesn't matter if they're in London or in the Virgin Islands or if they're in the United States. It doesn't matter where they are. When I'm doing a live session and I look at them, I can tell instantly if it's going to be difficult for them to attract somebody as they are right then and there, or if they just need a little bit of tips or guidance in order to get, the man that they want or attract the kind of love that they want to experience. And so I'm going to give you the secrets about these type of women. So we're going to get started. And I took some notes because as I was thinking through it and trying to remember what are these type of women. So make sure you have your paper and pen. If you're coming on, please leave a heart emoji and let me know that you are ready to go. I want you guys to be excited because listen, divas, in order for you to really grasp and internalize what I'm saying, you have to be in peak state. Okay, that means that emotionally you have to be excited. You have to be jazzed up. Imagine hugging or loving your soulmate because that will speak to your subconscious mind that whatever changes need to be made, it will be made. So make sure that you're not just like, okay, what is she going to say? Make sure that you are pepped up and excited and ready to go and ready to receive the information that we're about to share today. All right. The 3 characteristics of women who radiate wife energy. Because, hey, Pam, hey, Akita, welcome. So there are characteristics of women who radiate wife energy and who can attract any kind of man. It doesn't matter what she looks like. All right. So the first one is that she must be willing to receive. Ladies, women have a vagina for a reason. And I know a lot of you guys have held your chest with that, but we have a vagina for a reason because we are the vessels. We are the receivers. A lot of women have a hard time receiving a man's affection. A lot of women have a hard time allowing a man to do for her. We have a hard time receiving that because it's in our nature to be nurturing. So when somebody's being nice to us and somebody's giving to us, we want to give back. That's when you breathe and you stop and you receive, because as you are receiving, then you're letting him know first that you're worthy for him to treat you like a queen and for him to give to you. And then second, there's a biological process that's going on as he's given to you. In the last session, I shared that as a man is falling in love with you, his testosterone decreases, and so that does his serotonin. As his serotonin is dropping, he is literally becoming bonded to you. That's what's making him want to give to you. That's what makes him thinking about you. That's what makes him think about you, but beyond having sex. And that's where you want to be. So the next thing is remembering that you want to increase your feminine energy as well. These type of women who have this wife energy, they also are very feminine. Ladies, it's very, very difficult. Matter of fact, it's difficult to impossible for a masculine female who wants a man to attract a straight man. So let me explain that. It's very difficult because here's the thing. Think of a magnet. You know how a magnet has a plus and a negative side? Now, if you try to put both the pluses together, what happens? It repels, right? Same thing when it comes to masculine and feminine energy. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some women who are masculine at the core. You can tell. And a lot of these women who like other women, those type of women, they want feminine women. Okay? They're attracted to feminine women. So if you are desiring a man in a relationship in your life and you are the type of woman who works in corporate America and you're to take charge and make it happen kind of woman, then you are being driven a lot by your testosterone or your male energy. That's fine because a lot of times that is necessary in corporate America. But what works in the boardroom, ladies, is not going to work in the bedroom. You're going to have to, before you come into the door, press a button and turn that off because it is a turnoff to your man and to a straight man who you want to be attracted to you and think of you as a queen. A lot of times when I'm coaching my clients and when we're starting off, a lot of them have very, very masculine energy. And if you have been violated in some kind of way, then the masculine energy is there as a form of protection. But once she's able to become feminine, then she finds all kinds of guys. She didn't change anything. She might not have lost weight. She might not have changed anything else about herself except that she has increased and enhanced her feminine energy. So I'm going to get off of that point. We'll get back to that later. The next point is she is willing to receive the love. And again, that's to the point of being willing to allow a man to give to you and to do for you. A lot of ladies have a hard time with that. I suggest that you breathe through it because that's how you enhance a relationship to turn into something more of a commitment. Another thing is the next point is the feminine energy, which I mentioned. So being able to be soft without being needy. Okay, there's a delicate balance there. Being able to be feminine and stand in your femininity, because a lot of women think that it's weakness for her to be feminine, but it's really strength. And that goes to the point, my next point, vulnerability. Vulnerability is king, ladies, and it scares to death a lot of women who are used to protecting themselves. It scares you to death because that means that you feel that you're giving somebody the opportunity to hurt you. But if you learn the things that I'm going to teach you, then you won't have to worry about that because it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, your whole job and goal is if the man is not that into you, then that's fine. You're moving on because you know for sure, without a doubt, that the one is there and that the one is going to come into your life. So you're not sweating it whatsoever. And that goes to my point that I shared with you last week about dating at least 3 people at a time. You're not really sweating it. If it doesn't go anywhere, then you move on to the next point. And if you need more clarification on that point, listen to last week, Wednesday's live session, and I explained that thoroughly. So being soft without being needy, when you increase your femininity, when you increase that feminine energy, you increase your attractiveness. You become irresistible. You are not defined by your sexuality. So under the point of increasing your femininity, you do not define yourself by your sexuality. So we can think of many women, friends of ours or celebrities who are very defined by their sexuality. They have to show a lot. They have to exude a lot of sexual energy. That's what defines them. But ladies, there's no substance there when you have to be defined by your sexual energy. So a woman who has wife energy tones that down. There's a balance because you know how they say that men want a good girl in the streets and a freak in the bed? Well, that's the thing. A man in his subconscious mind categorizes you on where he's going to place you, whether he considers you wife, girlfriend, just for the moment, or just for a second. Okay, he puts you in that category. And there was a study that was done in which they took several different men, like over 30 men, and they showed different pictures of women. And in one picture, they showed the woman with fully clothed and with a beautiful smile. In the other picture, they showed the same woman, but she was scantily dressed. She was showing a lot. And in their mind, the part of your brain that objectifies things, that looks at, like when you show somebody a picture of a person, a certain part of their brain lights up versus if you show somebody a cup or a pen or a thing. In this study, the part of the man's brain that objectifies things lit up. That means he doesn't even see you, ladies. When you're just walking in your sexuality, when you're just exuding sex, he doesn't see you as a person. He sees you as a thing. He sees you as a thing to be used and thrown away. Last point, last characteristic, and there's many, but these are the 3 points that I'm mentioning here, of the type of woman that radiates wife energy. You no longer live in an independent life. You're okay with sharing your life with somebody. You're not selfish. It's not all about you. You're okay with not necessarily being needy, but being in a healthy relationship where you two support each other. Your partner relies on your strengths and you're willing to rely on his. You don't have a problem asking your man to open the pickle jar because you know what your strengths are. And it doesn't threaten your strength at all when you ask your man for help. And that's the point that I'm getting here. There's a lot of women that are getting married so that they can have this beautiful wedding and so that they can say that they're married, but they are not wife. They're not wife material. They're still thinking about themselves. They don't want to combine their bank accounts. Now, I'm not saying that you should just have one combined bank account. You can have a combined to share the bills and then you have your own, and that's fine. But there's some women that don't want to share their money at all. And I've coached several women that are like that. I know a lot of women that they keep secrets from their husband. Their husband doesn't even know how much they make, or their husband doesn't know what they do during the week. If you have to keep secrets from your husband, then that's a problem. That's not that wife energy, because when you get married, you combine as one. Like you become as one flesh. If you're not willing to do that, then guess what? You're not ready to be married. Just plain and simple. Hey, Courtney, thank you for joining us. I see you. All right. So another point under the being selfless is you're willing to serve and be served. You're willing to be treated like a queen. Allow your man to bring you flowers. Allow your man to open your door. Allow your man to do things for you. You're willing to allow that, but you're also willing to give too, ladies. It can't be all about I'm receiving. Now, again, I know that sounds conflicting because I said earlier that some women, they get very uncomfortable with allowing a man to do for them. They get very uncomfortable with allowing themselves, when they're dating somebody, to allow the man to keep doting on them and giving to them without them actually giving. That's in the beginning. There are different phases of a relationship. And one day we're going to discuss that, because there is a phase. And this is the reason why it's important that you don't skip a phase at all. There's a courting phase. There's an uncertainty phase, a phase that happens to every relationship where the guy pulls away. Why is he pulling away? Because the way their brains are set up, they have to think about one thing at a time. And in order for them to determine if they actually are into you or if they want to move the relationship forward, they have to pull away and be able to look at it from a distance. They need to see if they're going to miss you, if they're going to think about you. And then what happens once he does the rubber band and pulls away, once he comes back, then the relationship is even stronger than it was before. But if you don't know that, then you will mess up that process by chasing after him, texting him, calling him, asking him why is he pulling away, asking him why he's no longer interested in you. So again, that's in the beginning. You allow him to do for you, allow him to court you, allow him to pursue you. However, once he gets you and you're in the relationship, having a willingness to give to your man in balance, to nurture your man without thinking that you need to get something in return. That's a whole different vibe. Being the kind of woman that's willing to stand behind a good man, not just any man. Now, I'm not saying to do all of this for a jerk or a don't want her. You'll know that term is in my book. I'm not saying that you just do that for anybody. I'm saying that when you have a good man who has earned your heart, your mind, and your body, then you're willing to serve and give to him. Hey, Rhonda. Hey, oh, I like that name. Is it Ryan? I'm not even going to try to mess up your name, sweetie. Is it Ryan? Let me know if I said it right. Welcome, ladies. Rhonda, welcome, welcome, welcome. So, do you understand the difference? I'm hoping you guys are understanding the difference, because there's a difference on when you go full-blown supporting and being there for your man, and there's a difference when you need to step back and allow and receive. All right. So another point under the selfless point is being available. Ladies, there's a lot of y'all walking around that want a relationship, but you're still caught up with your ex. You're still kind of dealing with somebody who's not really treating you right. You are into this guy, but he's not into you enough. And you guys probably still sleep together, but because you want a relationship, you're still dating and you're still interacting with men in the hopes that you're going to find the one. It doesn't work like that, ladies. Two things can't occupy the same space at the same time. You're going to hear me say that a lot. So if you are there, Nigel, please get out the video. You guys, this is my daughter, so I'm live. Thank you. My goodness. Hot mess when you have teenagers. So if you are still caught up with somebody, then guess what? Whatever energy that attracted that somebody who isn't willing to commit to you, that same energy is going to attract the same person with a different face. So if you are serious about attracting a healthy relationship, then what you do is stay by yourself, heal, work on raising your vibration and your energy to the point of you attracting a quality relationship. So let me share with you. Oh, here's a bonus. Okay. I couldn't leave this out. Another point of a woman who radiates wife energy is that she's confident. She knows who she is. She knows who she knows who she is. She knows what she wants, and she knows she deserves to get what she wants. That's also important. Ladies, sometimes if you're walking around with your insecurities, then all of that is radiating a signal, attracting all of the guys who are going to play off of those insecurities. Because you don't attract what you want, you attract what your subconscious mind believes you deserve. So if you have been attracting a jerk, then somewhere healing is needed to heal the ideal that you deserve to be mistreated, because you don't. So I made a list of examples of women that we've seen, celebrities that radiate wife energy and celebrities who don't radiate wife energy. And there's always hope. If you're the type of woman who, because of your upbringing and your experiences, you don't know how to have that wife energy, then it's always possible to transform into the type of woman who does have wife energy. But let me give you some examples so that you have in your mind. Raven. Okay, Raven, I'm sorry. But with a Y. I love that. Hi, Marie. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, divas, examples of ladies in Hollywood who don't have wife energy. All right. These are the ones who don't have wife energy. And just think about why. Blac Chyna. Do you think wife when you see Blac Chyna in your head? Anybody say yes or no? Do you think wife energy when you think of Blac Chyna? Anybody? Amber Rose. Do you think? Right. No, you don't. Now, Amber Rose, do you think wife energy? No, not at all. She might be in a relationship. She's pregnant again. But ladies, I predict, and unfortunately, I don't like being right, but I predict that relationship is not going to last. Amber Rose still has a lot of healing to do. And again, she presents herself mostly as a sexual being. And because that has no substance, and because of the part of the brain that it activates, it doesn't activate wife energy. So I'm sure the guy's having fun with her, but as far as having a long-term committed relationship with her, it's not going to happen. That's my prediction. I could be wrong, but usually I never am. So, Mariah Carey. The reason why I put Mariah Carey on the list is because Mariah Carey is selfish. Mariah Carey comes off as a diva. And I'm not talking about us, our type of divas, because diva stands for divine, intelligent, vivacious, and alluring. Okay? So diva's a good thing. However, her diva is a different kind of thing. When you put yourself on a pedestal like you're better than everybody else, that's not a good thing, lady. And it does not attract a healthy relationship. Madonna. I don't even know which one to point out with Madonna. I just know that she does not radiate wife energy. Nene Leakes. Now, this is a tricky one. And I wanted to put her on the list because I know some of you guys are looking at like people like Nene Leakes, who's very selfish and stands in her masculine energy very strongly, but she's still married. Well, here's my argument that I would like to present for you to consider. Women like Nene Leakes who are like this, they might be able to attract a man, but 9 times out of 9, their relationship is a healthy relationship and they don't feel fulfilled in the relationship. And I like that you said Candy because Candy's on the list too. But Candy's foot is in the not wife zone, but it's kind of in the transformative zone. And I'm going to get into that because Candy, I think her type A masculine energy has worked with her businesses. And sometimes she doesn't know when to turn it off when it comes to her husband. And that's the reason why she puts her mother first and disrespects her husband sometimes. But I think behind closed doors, she's giving her husband that feminine energy that he likes. And that's why it's able to work in their relationship. Her masculine energy is not as strong as Nene Leakes. So that's why there's still hope for Candy's relationship. Nene's relationship is another. I'm not surprised he cheated. I'm not saying that it's right to cheat. I'm just letting you guys know up front that what is, okay? Human nature is human nature. When a woman is standing so much in her masculine energy, because men, it has to be yin and yang, ladies. You have to be able to give both. And men can't just keep getting hit with that masculine energy without being fed any feminine energy. Not a straight man. You just can't. It's just not going to work. Because at the end of the day, he's still going to want the nurturing and the softness and the love from a feminine woman. That's just the way it is. So another example is Paris Hilton, and that's obvious. Paris radiates a lot of sex energy. See, if you're sexy but classy, and that's not your identity, then you can still radiate wife energy. Jill Scott stands in her masculinity a lot. That's why she's a sexual being. That's the reason why Jill Scott has a hard time attracting a good man, because she attracts men. Because here's the thing, ladies, when you stand in your masculine energy, then you either attract gay men or you attract men that want to use you, period. There's no in between there. That's the reason why it's important that you can stand on your feminine energy and balance both the masculine and the feminine energy. And I have a meditation that helps ladies to be able to do that, or anybody to be able to balance their masculine and feminine energy, because that's very, very important when it comes to relationships. So Jill Scott, she's very sexual, but that's a masculine behavior. That's not a feminine behavior. I know she comes out very feminine, but Jill Scott has a heart wall. So, and that's another story. I feel like a spiritual violation for me to do a reading on somebody publicly, but I can totally see what's holding Jill Scott. But she's only 2 centimeters away from being able to attract a healthy relationship. But first, she's going to need to heal that thing that's blocking her from being able to receive true love. Okay, so let's go to the list of the women who have wife energy. All right, Claire Huxtable, even Felicia Rashad. Like Felicia Rashad, she's always been in my mind as the ideal type wife. Always has been. Sierra is a great example because Sierra can be sexy in her videos. She can even show a little leg or skin or whatever, but she's not skanky with it. It's not her focal point. That's not, she doesn't express herself as that's the only thing about her. Matter of fact, that's the appetizer. That's not even the whole dinner when it comes to Sierra. And I think that's why Russell is so into her, because of that. Tasha from Power, here's the thing. Like, in order for me to be able to get a reading on somebody, I have to be able to be in their presence. It's hard when it comes to actors because actors are very good at putting on a mask. A lot of times you don't really see them. So it's hard to be able to see where their energy's at unless you see them when they're in a relaxed environment. Megan Good, feminine energy is very, very strong in Megan Good, and she radiates very, very good wife energy. Khloe Kardashian is, okay, I want you guys to let me know, what do you think? Do you think Khloe Kardashian radiates wife energy or not wife energy? This is a confusing one, right? Because Khloe is very nurturing. She is willing to cook. She seems like she's a good mother. But what do you think? Wife or not wife? Let me know, anybody in the comments below, because a lot of people, when I have shared this, are very confused when I say the answer about Khloe. And again, I'm not trying to down anybody. I'm not trying to judge anybody, but I'm presenting these public figures as an example because from their example, they can kind of help and teach us. I was hoping nobody was going to ask me about Jennifer Lopez. I was hoping nobody was going to ask me about her. Okay, so I'll get to her in a second. Chloe radiates not wife energy, but not for the reasons that you might think. Chloe is very insecure, and men feed off of that insecurity. That's why Chloe keeps attracting dogs, because Chloe is still, in her mind, the unattractive, chubby girl that she was before all of the changes. And until she can do work to change her mindset, until she can develop the confidence that she's always been beautiful no matter what she's looked like, no matter what she looked like, then she's going to keep attracting dogs, because all the guys she's attracting is reflecting the way she feels about herself, what she believes she deserves. She doesn't like it, but again, we talked about last week that homeostasis, and that's the reason why Chloe doesn't radiate wife energy. But for her, she doesn't have far to go. It's just all about healing for her and her figuring it out. I think the whole thing with her father passing and wanting that father love that she wasn't getting from her transvestite dad, I think all of that has affected her with her energy, but I think she's going to get it. Now, here's one. Kim Kardashian, wife energy or not wife energy? Wife energy or not wife energy? Somebody said Chloe's not a wife. You guys are rough. Okay, so Kim Kardashian is a good example of the transform from not wife to wife. Kim Kardashian went from it being all about her being the type of person that we might consider selfish, her having some other characteristics that might be not in alignment with women who radiate wife energy. And she was able, from becoming a wife and having kids, to transform into a wife. So that's not something that happens all the time, because a lot of women who had questionable past when they stood on their sexuality and that's what defined them, a lot of times they don't end up having healthy relationships. But I still think that we still need to wait and see what goes on in that relationship, because I'm not too convinced that her relationship with Kanye is all that. Okay, stick that in a pen and remember that I said it on this date, that I do not think that that Kim Kardashian and Kanye have an amazing relationship. Okay, because there's questions there. All right, so let me give you the characteristics, and I'm getting ready to end in a few minutes. So I'm going to give you the characteristics of the women that radiate night wife energy. Physically, a lot of these women wear too much makeup. A lot of these women are very revealing. They like to show a whole lot, okay? And it's okay to wear a sexy dress, but when you got your breast out and your butt out and your crotch showing, that's a bit much, okay? And I'm sure you can think of several different examples of women like that, even on TV. Flippant with their actions. They're very loud, flamboyant. And I'm not saying they're all these characteristics. I'm saying they're either this or that, or sometimes they have multiple of these characteristics. They're flamboyant. They're the old school word, fast. Y'all remember that word, fast? That means that they're not discriminate when it comes to what type of men they're willing to sleep and jump in the bed with. If you're just willing to just throw your vagina out there like it's Kool-Aid, then I'm sorry, ladies, then you're just not going to be seen as a wife. No matter what Amber Rose says about sexual liberation and women being able to do whatever we want to do and why can men do it and women not? First of all, women have always been the salt of the earth. We've given birth to civilization. Why would we want to lower our standards to be like men? Why would we want to lower our standards to be like men who don't even respect themselves and just give it away like it's Kool-Aid too? Why? There's a lot of men out there who don't feel that every woman should get them or deserves them. There's a lot of men, not all men feel like it's okay to just jump in and out of bed with different women. So why is this becoming the standard? I highly suggest that we not lower our standards as women by thinking that it's some grand accomplishment that now we can jump in and out of bed with any old dirty penis. It's just not. So, and then over-sexualized, okay? Another characteristic, selfish, too focused on themselves. A not wife type of characteristic, that they don't want to serve. They don't handle her business. A lot of these women it's one thing to go through life challenges. That's fine. Everybody goes through it. But when you just sit and wallow in your stuff and you're not doing anything to make it better, that's a not wife characteristic. And then last but not least, these women are insecure. You can smell their insecurity. You can see their insecurity. And so, like a radio wave that attracts the channel that you want, if you turned your station to whatever the station is that has Tom Joyner or Steve Harvey, if you turn to that station, then guess what? You're going to hear Steve Harvey. But if you turn to one dial away from that station number, then you're not going to get Steve Harvey. You're going to get either static or you're going to get another station. And it's the same thing with this. If you're sending out the signal that you're not worthy, that you believe all men are dogs, or that all men cheat, or they're going to mistreat you, or you're going to get abused, or being abused means love, then that's what you're going to attract. So until you change your point of attraction in your belief system, you're going to keep seeing the same experiences coming up in your life. So I hope this has helped, divas and boos. Drop your comment below if there's something else that you want to discuss on our next live session. Every Wednesday at 7 o'clock, I will be here with another topic. So please share your suggestions below, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye, divas and boos. Oh, and don't forget to visit shaybetter.com and join us on our Instagram at Shay Your Love Diva on Instagram, and the same thing on Facebook, Shay Your Love Diva. Anyways, bye, divas and boos.